showed.
No.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What do you see?
Let me see if the link so don't.
No one. There's nothing there yet.
It's there. I can see you.
Okay. Doreen said she can see me on there, that we're live.
There's a link. There's one person watching. It's me.
Is there a link that you see there?
Hold on.
You should be on the city webpage looking for a link.
I'm
We're
looking for a link.
doing a test of the new system for the
There's
YouTube
a picture of me
platform.
on it, I think.
Any link? What the heck's she doing?
What we're live on the air, so watch your mouth.
Oh, check it out.
Where Doreen said there's a picture of her that says testing.
Got a notification.
2 people are watching.
2 people are now watching.
Well, why
This is
can't
a
I see
test of our new platform system in the city of Shamokin.
You want to read that or no?
Not until she finds it. She's going to have to tell us if
See it?
you can see it. Where did it go now?
Your thing you need to read? Down here.
Have you been able to find it yet?
No.
Okay.
No,
You're on the City of Shamokin Facebook page? Are you there?
Interact as Denise Brown. See if that makes a difference. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I had to be me. I couldn't be City of Shamokin.
Okay, so you can't view it as the city. You view it as an individual.
Yeah, when I clicked on as me, then the thing came up.
Huh.
Now I'm going to the YouTube. I clicked on during there. You're sitting there.
You have me live. You have me live. Can you hear it live?
All right, I gotta turn
There's a
this
little
on.
bit
Well,
of delay.
I'm gonna turn the.
Okay, go ahead, say something.
I'm clicking off with you here now. Okay, hopefully you can see me live now. This is a test of the new YouTube platform for the City of Shamokin meetings. We'll be switching over to it if everything works here okay. How far of a delay do we have? Same as last time?
4 or 5 seconds only.
Okay. How is it volume-wise, Denise? If you could text Doreen and let us know. Volume-wise, how are we doing? The only thing we won't be able to do is it won't be as easy to pan from person to person because now we're operating off of a laptop platform. So it'll just generally be sitting in front of me. And if I have any problems, we'll be
Volume is
switching
good.
over to Doreen.
Volume is good.
Volume is good. Wonderful. With it being as our test, with it being the Read Across America week, and yesterday being Dr. Seuss's birthday, I have the book The Lorax. I guess we could sit here and about a 15-minute long book. Is there anybody else watching other than you and my wife? Okay. Thoughts? We good enough, or should I sit here and read for 15 minutes?
I think we're good unless you want to read.
Doreen's saying we're good.
There's 4 people watching.
Actually, 4 people watching now. This is the new test platform for the
Denise says read.
system we're using here at the city to get away from the Facebook platform. It'll be shared just like it is on Facebook, where you can watch us. Again, Read Across America. If you've never heard the Lorax, we'll do a little reading for you here to see how this works. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He stays in his lurkum cold under the floor where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out the shutters and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and if you toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great, great, great grandfather snail, then he pulls up the pail and makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you've paid away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his gloveless glove. And then he grunts, I will call you by whisper phone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone. Slup down the slups, the whisper phone, to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through the sniggerly hose, and he sounds as if he has smallish bees up his nose. Now I tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean. And the song of the swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw the brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the rippleless pond came a comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had this smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop, then chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuff and knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I'd heard a gazump. I looked and saw something pop out of the stump of the tree that I had chopped down. It was a sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset, and he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my truffula truff? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree, and I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a need. A need is a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth that would buy that full need." By the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the need that I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. "You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy." "Busy," I told him. "Shut up if you please." I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, I built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, "Listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Snitch." And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as beads, to the sound of the chopping of truffola trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was just too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go around. And my poor barbaloots are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried as he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and a business must grow, regardless of crummies in tummies, you know. I meant you no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads of the needs that I shipped out. It was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes. That old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snarled and sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a cruffulous croak, "Onceler, you're making smugglest smoke. My poor swarmy swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in their throat. And so the Lorax, please pardon my cough, they cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape the smog you've smogged up around here." What's more, snapped the Lorax, his dander was up. "Let me say a few words, gluppity glup. Your machine chugs on day and night without stopping, making gluppity glup. Also, schluppity schlup. And what do you do with what's left over, goo? I'll show you. You dirty old Onceler man, you. You're glumping up the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I am sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at that Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir. I am telling you, I intended to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into needs, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. And then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts and everyone all waved goodbye. They jumped into their cars and they drove in the smoke-smuggled stars. Now all that was left beneath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing. He just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad and backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place, through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago. But each day since that, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you are here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. Thank you. That was a test of our new platform here at the City of Shamokin. It's YouTube. The link will be posted on the city's webpage for our meetings. Hopefully that worked out and we get some phone calls and say it was clear enough for everyone to hear. Again, story was the Lorax. It's Read Across America Week. Yesterday was Dr. Seuss's birthday. Thank you. We'll see you at 6 o'clock. How many people we have there?